Yo, what's going on, guys? Sankit here. Welcome back to the channel. Alright, it is no surprise that I'm not a very good kitty player, apparently. I mean, not apparently, but I am not a very good kitty player. I can play her. It's just that this is my 7th war only that I'm bringing her in. And, yeah, right over there, I just remembered that I was dexing, but the character just decided to stand there still. Anyways, I'm a better Tigra player than Kitty or Torch, even though like Torch isn't really anything to play. It's just that there are certain interactions that aren't that favorable for him. We're going up against the mini MIBR made in Brazil, and my team as usual is Kitty, Tigra, Torch. Nothing different about it. And I was doing the same path 5 and then into path 8, and I picked up an extra fight on the way, so I had 11 fights this war, and things just didn't go my way, or maybe the strategy was wrong. I'm pretty sure the strategy was wrong in like one of the deaths. We'll talk about it when we get there. But yeah, so far the season hasn't been too good to me. It's not that... I mean, yeah, you could say that I don't know every detail and every intricacy of Kitty versus this and this opponent. But yeah, it's just that I'm not that experienced. Plus, sometimes my strategy is not right. Sometimes, you know, we plan and it doesn't work out exactly how we planned it. So yeah, it's like a live and learn kind of thing. Good thing is that my deaths did not contribute to the loss, or you know, we don't really know if we're gonna lose. But right now, based on what it is, there are 135 fights done. We only died 4 times, and they had 120 fights done, and they have died 7 times. So unless we give away a lot of deaths in quick successions, it's looking like we are easily going to win this one. And I just want to, you know, go out of this war having learned a few new things. But yeah, talking about the war, let's get into it. So first 3 fights were pretty simple. There wasn't anything difficult about it. Here I've got Doom on Hazard Shift Aggression Prowess, and I'm just supposed to wait out the shock. Not only you should wait out for the shock debuff, but not only does the shock debuff does damage on its own, which isn't really too much, because if you look at it, let's see, 330 and I'm healing 150, so it's not nothing, but it's not that much. But yeah, here I made a mistake, and I was like trying to keep away from Doom because he can just purify my shock and, you know, get a lucky crit, and that'll be it. But yeah, I don't think having what do you call that, the pre-fight from Odin would have made a huge difference, because you know there's still that danger of you being randomly heavied. So yeah, that was something like I was looking forward to that pre-fight, but then the officer said that you don't really need it, and then I thought about it again, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely don't need it. Here he goes for his SP2. I'm pretty confident in dexing it. I get the full dex, and then he throws a special attack and he's dead. Alright, then there is this Sasquatch on Conflictor on the way to path 7 and 9, and I wasn't assigned this fight, but then when I woke up, the officer said that the guy is gonna be at least 7-8 hours out from taking the fight, and I'm like, you know, I think I can just take it. There's nothing really difficult about this. And then for some reason in this fight, the shock actually does less damage. So one mistake that I'm making here is I should be parrying him to build up my smolders while I have armor break, and I'm avoiding the bleed phase. So that's one thing I learned to do next time. Yeah, the shock isn't taking too much versus this Sasquatch. I think it's based off base attack or something. I don't know. But apparently that's how it seems. Here I go for a few parries to build my smolders, and I think he just ends. So yeah, here I go for the in. I get the perfect one. I don't know if I end this with an SP3 or I just let him tick out. I think I hit him while he is also in the bleed mode, so that went well. Alright, so this Mojo fight is where things get bad. So I wasn't 100% sure on this interaction because I knew I had to parry him to, I mean, okay, rich get richer doesn't really matter, but you know, if he gets lucky with his prompts, it's just going to be a huge problem for me. And my goal here was to go in, do a heavy attack, and then there he gets Dex because I was like a freaking second late. So my goal was, you know, just to go in, do a heavy attack, and keep him in his corner, and then he's gonna freely throw his special attack, but that's just not how it worked. And then I kept on parrying, just, you know, completely forgetting that there is anti-life field active. So here I wait out, I think. No, I still parry. Yeah. Yeah, so the officers were just telling me that you can just, you know, hold heavy attack and not at all parry, and that would work. But in my opinion, I think, and they said they also removed the dex, but in my opinion it wouldn't have worked by removing the dex because you can easily get cornered, especially if you're not parrying them. So I was so pissed about this, and I was like already afraid of this interaction. So I told the officer, hey, I think I'm probably just gonna kitty this right now to finish off, and also from next time, because I can just phase the degen damage. I can hold my special attacks, and it's not really gonna be that difficult. So in this fight he plays ball pretty okay. Like, I think he's gonna throw his special attack at some point here. Then I get that degen, and I can just phase that degen, so I'm not really taking that much damage, and that's pretty much all I'm focusing on. I'm looking at my phase timer. I'm doing medium light, I'm going back, I'm doing medium light, going back, and as soon as I see him with as soon as I see him throw a special attack, I just, you know, go back, or I remove my block. I stop holding my block. And I think this pretty much KOs him. I had a, yeah, okay, so there you go, that KO'd him. So that was, you know, a learning experience, let's call it like that. I would not take that with Torch. I'm pretty sure it can be done with Torch, even without Nova Flame, but I just don't think there is any point of risking that using Torch when Kitty can just, you know, avoid all that degen damage. Like, what's the point? And then we got this Venom Pool here, so I did practice, you know, baiting his SP1 and punishing with heavy, but half of the time I got the timing down and the other half of the time I didn't, and then I even corrected what I was doing wrong, and then over here I just like thought I had a parry, so rookie mistake, you know, wastage of potions. But yeah, so I thought that I had the timing down, but I'm like, you know, I'm just not gonna risk it. I didn't practice it enough. I only did it like 4 or 5 times, so like 4 or 5 duels. And you know, it's just Venom Pool, it's just a diversity placement, so I'm like, I'll just go in and beat him up and get this fight down, and that's pretty much the fight. So the next fight is Aarkus on Rich Get Richer mini boss, like the shared mini boss. And my understanding of this fight was, if I went in with Tigra, if Aarkus didn't play ball, he is gonna get to that SP3, he's gonna do a freaking chunk of damage and I'll die. So that's why I thought Kitty is going to be the better option. And even though Kitty can do this fight, excuse me, something in my throat. Even though Kitty can do this fight pretty okay, I was told by 2 other officers that, you know, Tigra would have been far better because it's just a power start 1 or even a 200% mistake, and then you just nuke him. So here I had Invul, I wasn't too worried about it. But the problem arises after this. So this is my last Kitty fight, and I wasn't too worried if I took a bit of damage in HP or whatever. So here My goal is, again, just to hold heavy attack, or to hold my SP3 in case of emergencies. And then here I'm just doing medium light, going back, medium light, and here he threw his SP2. I mean, okay. Then I get lucky, and then he throws his SP2 over here. I lose all my prowess. I don't pay attention to that. I go in, and that's it. That's it. Because if I had prowess over there, I would have phased, and my goal was there to, just throw the SP3 when I'm phasing. So that happened over there. The officers told me, Tigra is a far better option, and I agree. I think Tigra is a better option after watching a few other videos. I just wasn't sure if she would work as well, because I thought she would take a lot of damage, and apparently she works fairly well. But of course I had to go in with Kitty because I actually had that chat afterwards. So I'm just gonna parry here, get my 3 prowess, and yeah, somehow I missed over there. I don't know why, how, whatever. So I still had my indestructible. I wasn't too worried about pushing him to SP3, not that he wanted to throw that for some reason, but yeah, at this point I was like, I'm just gonna KO him. So yeah, like one of my friends said, the season hasn't been kind to me. It's going pretty bad for me. I feel quite bad about that death, but I usually try not to think too much about it. I just see what I can learn from it, and you can just improve from that point onwards. So then I use my energy, just why not, and I go for this Hulkling over here. He is on safeguard. Pretty easy fight. I think I had 200% mystic boost as well, so I was confident I will finish this fight in 30, 40, 45 seconds or something. So here I'm hoping he would throw a special attack, so he finally did. Amazing. And then I just go for my SP2. I think this puts me almost back at SP2. No. Yeah, kind of. So here I'm trying to bait, but he just didn't. And then I'm like, yeah, this fight is over. I just throw my SP2 and that's it. Pretty quick and easy Tigra fight. And then we also have Hulkbuster with Tigra, and some people were like, why would you do Hulkbuster with Tigra, because you're knocking him down and all that. And I'm like, yeah, Hulkbuster, he has the easiest to avoid special attacks and you can punish him. I just need to remember that this is stun immune, and at the start, like right at the beginning, he doesn't really play ball and he was a little bit passive, and also I get tagged while dashing back at some point. So I don't know where it is. It's gonna come pretty soon. Oh yeah, so I get my SP2. I'm like, yeah, I'll just drop it, and I was hoping it wouldn't push him to SP2, and that was perfect, because if it did push to SP2, I would have been like, yeah, shit. So here is where I get caught in the dash back, and then my senses fall off. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll just go for SP3. That sounds like the better plan right now. And yeah, I've really been enjoying Tigra. I'm so much more confident using Tigra than pretty much any other champion this season. I was also thinking I would use Hulkling a bit, but path 3, the leader does that with his Corvus, and Corvus, Hulkling is no match for Corvus. So right over here, he's pretty passive, and that's what annoyed me a bit. But the good thing about Tigra is that even if you're in the middle of the map, she's gonna cover half of the map with her SP2. So from this point onwards, is where the fights actually start going according to plan, and he throws his special attacks fairly quickly. He gets to him, and then he throws it again, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and then I just punish it with a heavy attack, and I think I get pushed to SP3. Yeah, I remember this. So yeah, I get pushed to SP3, and I'm like, damn. I'll have to go to another SP2 or at least an SP1 cycle, but I think this almost finishes off because there's a burst at the end. Yeah, there's a burst at the end from Rupture for some reason. So those were my fights, and now there is those are my path and mini boss fights, and then of course I'm taking the thing boss again. I was hoping that I'd have protection from Odin, but I don't think anyone was assigned to do that, so I just decided, okay, I'll take an invul instead of power start 1, even though that would have finished the fight much faster. Thing with Tigra is a very, very easy fight. You don't even really need to worry about it so much. There's like nothing really to worry about it. First of all, you just need to be a bit careful if he's at 15 rock stacks and you don't have a neutralize. You want to make sure you push him towards a special attack, but that thing usually doesn't line up as often, so you know. Of course I did take my time in this fight because my senses fell off at the start, and here I'm just hoping for him to throw a special attack, which he does, and then I go for my SP2. I get him back in the corner, which is what I really love about Tigra. You know, you corner the opponent so quickly, and that's pretty much the fight. That's pretty much what you really want to do at all times with any opponent. Get them in their corner. They're so much more cooperative in throwing their special attacks, and they play even much more aggressively at times. So I think this SP2 pretty much does it. And yeah, that's been the war. Not a good season for me, but I'm hoping to learn from it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, hit the sub button, and I'll catch you next time.